as an artist, I've been doodling with crayons and such, but I never thought that art is going to be my journey up until I had to decide what high school, because I could have done biology. But I chose art because it's something that it was such easy things to gather my materials and randomly create something on the spot. Chose LaGuardia High School Performing in Arts, where I was able to learn how to use a paintbrush for the very first time. From there, I went to SUNY New Paltz, and the live art performances, such as the easel, as you see here behind me with my friend, started in 2009. And then by 2009, I was requested by different agencies, charity work, projects and programs of many different kinds, which allowed me to get better at my skills at time, painting rapidly, painting among other peers in the public, via competitions. So that helped a lot. And also, I was able to paint amongst my fellow artists who at the same time are learning the very same thing I was still learning at the same time, which is kind of cool. Eventually, you know, my personal creativity branched as well, such as drawing, sculpting, animation, and different kinds of art that was passively made. Even I also doodled with videography and documenting my other art friends as I've done before. And then there's so many opportunities that I opened up myself to. At this moment in time, I want to harness and actually give back. Random Acts of Art is various of art opportunities that's going to be placed with artists in various locations from the Bronx. So randomly we will pop up on the week of, we'll announce, and whoever's walking by or those who are scheduled to show up are welcome to randomly see this wonderful performance. This way, my objective is to be organic, where there's no sense of demand, where you can see the artist in and their natural evolution in their creation. At the same time, not put a lot of pressure on the environment or the audience, not to be demanded to pay a ticket or anything. This is an organic way of bringing people in just as much as the artist out. So randomly, this is just a concept that I would like to do more of it. Whereas randomly we go from one location, the next one will be the Bronx Reservoir. Randomly we're gonna do at the Van Cortlandt Park. And the more we do more of these, the more we can extend more possibilities of other locations. So besides it being randomly made, the artists are strategically placed where they can say this area benefits them more because they live much closer. At the same time, celebrate with their community who they are and be able to say, I exist, this is what I'm really good at, reach out to me, and people can extend themselves to them. This set of artists are a handful of people I already worked with in my past. Starting in 2009, I had started diving into live art from dive-in bars and charity venues, even live art competition such as the art battles created by Sean Bono. And I also had a lot of peers via various of age, backgrounds. And so what you see, the list of artists that are in this project are those of my peers that I've actually worked with, along with, and they were on board. They understood the mission of sharing the abilities while knowing that the audience will be the public and understanding their uniqueness as who they are. So if I place all these artists in various locations, they get to see that it's an organic thing just as much as I was saying earlier, that it's not just in one location, it's moving, it's influence in different people, influence in that community and different places of communities and pockets of communities, help branch the relationship between the artist and the neighbors. I know that there is a lot of art in the Bronx. Some of them are in galleries and different showings. What I do notice that there are a lot of elders, a lot of youth that don't go to these venues such as galleries or showcasings or theater. My presentation is really to find ways to bridge that community that don't really go to gallery shows, and older folks that never really saw what it is to open a canvas. So the idea is to also at the same time educate. Everybody are unique in their own, so when they see art, they can trigger some wonderful memories. It can trigger possibilities of what if I could have done this. Also inspire themselves to inspire others. So there's so many different ways this presentation can extend themselves. There's no one thing, one theme, but hopefully by being present, it gives them an opportunity for them to grasp their inner ideas and how they take it home with them. I had created this thing called Basement Art Sessions in the Bronx, and I had a select few people there, and this is where I met her. And I met her with different people, different peers who encouraged her to show up, and she enjoyed the first time go. What drew me to her was that the beginning scales were smaller, and eventually the evolution of her in my presence of the various of art parties or art get-togethers, I saw her evolve further, which I didn't understand how in awe I am at her skills, because eventually I was able to see the layering of her skills and her through a 6 feet to maybe a 2 feet wide standard door size canvas, and the technicalities, the craftsmanship, and able to speed up in her process of performing was another ability that I was seeing in her that she was able to do. So other art, this is the first time go, and we had developed great friendship from there on. This is like 2012 to 13, and at the same time, I had other projects where I invited her as well to do something similar, or she invited me as well to do other things. And the same thing, she evolved further in regards to creating something at a very fast pace. And regards from sketching to drawing, from wood, painting on wood or canvas. So I'm still awed by her in performance always. And I'm grateful that she's here to be able to be an extension of what this project's supposed to be about.
I always knew I wanted to be some kind of artist since I was like very little. And I went to college for fashion design, and well, let's go back. I like a little high school. I got more interested in art and made it something that I wanted to incorporate into what I wanted to do. And when I got to college, I did fashion design, which allowed me to incorporate art through fashion illustration. So basically, I started doing fashion illustration before anything else. And then I graduated college. I was doing fashion design solely until like 2012, when I was like, I wanted to like improve my art. I wanted to do hyper-realistic art. So every day for like 3 years, I drew to get a little better, which I did. And you know, time went on. Now I do all kinds of things: crochet, I sculpt, I paint, I draw, I build things. Anything that you can do with your hands, I was interested in learning, and now I'm adding more things to my repertoire. I enjoy all kinds. I like hyperrealism, I like graffiti art, I like anime, manga, drawing styles. I love it all. It's a challenge. Like, the more challenging a thing, the more exciting it is to do. Never be afraid to fail. A lot of contemporary artists cause his line work, and watching him do line work is like therapy because he's so good at it. There's an artist in New Orleans. He does murals. His name is Mike B, I believe. And incredible work. There's so many that inspire me. that I would name that people really wouldn't know. There's a female artist from Brooklyn, I Am Wet Paint. Her name is Sophia Dawson. She recently got married, so Dawson isn't her last name anymore. But those are like a few that are very inspiring to me. My sister, Martha Alicia, asked me, and I would do anything for her. So, and I like live painting. So when the opportunity was presented, it was like a no-brainer to accept, and it's great. I did this this morning. There's no rhyme and reason to it. I just wanted it to be colorful and quick because I didn't have a lot of time, and it evolves. Like what I sketch is not what's there, but that's how art is. It evolves from the first inkling to the end part. I want people to get from it what they want, because I don't have a necessary interpretation of what it is. So whatever if they look at it and they love the colors, if they love the line work, if they like all those things, and that's what they leave with, then I'm happy.
In the stage in which they're in, if they're a youth, if they're an ongoing student, or a professional with one specific skill, each person have their own journey. For the youth, my advice is to continue and discover. If there's a sense of pause, it's okay to pause, but also find ways to channel your creative personality, because the energy never ends. And if you're a student trying to find other ways to communicate, you can communicate via the arts. There are different kinds, such as dancing, music, writing. The art form is just, visual art form is just one way to extend that creative ideas and possibilities. If you're professional, the same lesson goes with you as well. You never stop growing and you never stop branching. And if it leads you to a path that you're unknowing, but it still captures your attention or your heart, follow that. And if you want to further, always ask questions. Be never afraid to ask questions to any of the people that you feel that you can learn from. Never be afraid of that. And keep taking positive risks so that you can do comparisons and find ways to make possibilities there in front of you.
Discipline with persistence. You have to do it, like every day you have to, especially if your goal is improvement. I used to do whole pieces that would take me days at a time, just so I'm doing art every day to build up my my abilities. And that's my advice, like persistence, consistency, those, just do it.